All right, my new Fox Nation special, Poison Ivy, takes a deep dive, into the wokeness of Ivy League schools. Ivy League, 8 historic institutions previously dedicated to upholding tradition and exceptionalism. But buried within the open lawns and Gothic halls lies an unsettling truth. For generations, we have entrusted these elite universities to forge our future. Unfortunately, they succeeded. Fox News contributor Ben Domenech is in that special. We sat down with him, and he joins us now. Ben, I don't care about these schools in particular. The reason this matters is that a lot of the ideas and conversations we have today started in the faculty lounges or of these elite universities. Explain to our audience, why we got to care about what these universities are teaching.
Sure. One of the things that we need to understand about this, Pete, I think, is that, even if your child isn't going to, or your, some grandchild, whatever, isn't going to one of these elite Ivy League institutions, the ideas that come out of these institutions shape everything that we see across academia. They are the lodestar for all of these different institutions. They look up to them. They aspire to the same level of prestige. And so they follow in their tracks when it comes to forming the different academic programs that they have. And unfortunately, what we've seen over the past several decades is that the total leftist and Marxist, in many cases, takeover of these institutions has led to a complete overtaking of so many different aspects, particularly in the humanities, of the kind of academic experience that people have, even if they're going to big state schools, even if they're not going to elite Ivy League institutions. Their ideas that are being flowed down through that process is something that can really warp their understanding of the world, and then follows them into the experience of public life, their life within the corporate America, and as we've seen in recent years in particular, the way that people are treated by HR and by the different companies that are trying over and over again to win plaudits from the left as opposed to serve their customers.
Well said. That's exactly right. I mean, even places like our military infected with ideas that come from these places.
Absolutely.
The attacks of October 7th really, though, laid bare the fact that on these campuses, cheering for Hamas was commonplace. What did it surprise you? Because this film is meant to say, hey, this shouldn't really surprise us.
Well, it shouldn't surprise us only because I think, if we've been paying attention, we can see the seed in minds who you obviously talked to. Victor Davis Hanson is one of them. He's been warning about this for a very long time, if you've been reading his work. There's others as well that people may be familiar with, Shelby Steele and the like, who've been saying, these ideas inevitably lead us to, a view of the world through the lens of victimhood and through the kind of the DEI rhetoric that we're familiar with now within the corporate world. That's something that comes out of this experience. And it's not just, it's a very convenient thing to say that, these are college students, they go through periods of radicalism, we've seen it historically, and then they get out into the real world and they have a mortgage and they start paying taxes and they, change their minds about things. That's not what we're seeing happen. Instead, what we're seeing is that this radicalism is following them. It's seated in their brains through these institutions, and then it's affecting the way that we live our public lives in ways that trickle down and that are affecting every different aspect, including, of course, teachers in public institutions today who are teaching young children who, if you are, paying attention to what they're saying, it's all things that are seated within this biased, leftist, Marxist agenda that really is abhorrent and has to be called out.
No doubt. And you call it out in this special as well. Ben Domenech, thanks for your time and articulating it so well. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Pete, and I look forward to seeing you in New Hampshire this week.
Oh, yeah, he will. He'll be joining us for our New Hampshire coverage. Ben Domenech does it all, from the Ivy League to New Hampshire. We'll see you soon, brother. Thank you. And check out Poison Ivy. We talk to donors. We talk to students. We talk to professors. We talk to board members. We talk to, as Ben mentioned, Victor Davis Hanson and others. Folks from the channel, Brian Bremberg, who's an alumni of Dartmouth, and Kaylee. How do we get here? How do we get out of it? That's what Poison Ivy is meant to talk about.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.